following is a production of Learfield Sports.
This copyrighted telecast is the property of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, an affiliate of Learfield Sports, LLC, under rights granted by the University of Maine. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other dissemination or use of this telecast or any part of it without the express written consent of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, is prohibited. This legal disclaimer is brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, proud supporter of the Black Bears. If you have any legal questions, visit them at lanhamblackwell.com.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Black Bear Insider. I'm your host, Brian Sullivan. We've got a fantastic show on tap for you this week. Maine field hockey coach Josette Babineau stops by, as does student athlete Charlene Achille. Not to mention, we'll swing by the Fieldhouse where the renovation project is nearing its completion. The new academic center is looking fantastic for anyone who visits campus. Plus, we'll talk about the Gerard Cassidy donations for the finance lab. And we'll also catch up with former Black Bear Jimmy Howard, now with the Detroit Red Wings of the NHL, and an Olympian, see how things are going for him in Detroit. Plus, look at the U.S. Cellular upcoming schedule and much, much more. This is the Black Bear Insider.
The Black Bear Insider is brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, U.S. Cellular, Maine Recreation and Fitness Center, Fisher Plows, Maine Savings Federal Credit Union, EBS Building Supplies, and Digital Workshop.
So, with U.S. Cellular, you get 4 lines and 10 gigs for $140 a month. And you can upgrade your phone every year. Say, upgrade.
Upgrade? U.S. Cellular lets you upgrade every year?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Great. Just sign this.
This is how I sign up?
I don't make the rules, Mr. Westbrook.
At U.S. Cellular, get 4 lines with 10 gigs for just $140 a month and upgrade your phone every year. U.S. Cellular, hello better.
No matter what your game is, indoors or out, the Student Recreation and Fitness Center at the University of Maine is your place to play, work out, relax, and have fun. The Rec Center has state-of-the-art cardio and weight training equipment, a pool, spa, and sauna, a running track, and more than 60 fitness classes a week. Or take your game outside with the Maine-bound Adventure Center. Hit the climbing or bouldering wall, learn how to kayak, go rock climbing. Whatever game you like, the Student Recreation and Fitness Center is your place to play.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher Trip Edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion.
Learn more at vplowfacts.com.
Welcome back to the Black Bear Insider, now joined by Maine field hockey coach Josette Babineau. Josette, thank you very much for being here. Right in the thick of the 2014 season, things started off pretty well and then hit a little bit of a rough patch, and now things are turning around again. Let's talk a little bit about how things have gone so far.
We started the season feeling pretty good about our play, even though we lost some games early on. But the teams that we faced off, were ranked teams, or 3 ranked teams, and we felt pretty good about our play because we were able to take a couple of those teams into overtime, but fell short in 2 overtime games. Lost a pretty close game to Stanford as well early on. So it kind of put us, in a sort of deficit with the win-loss record at the beginning, but now we've been playing more some of our regional teams, and things have been starting to fall into place a little bit better for us.
One of the things we've talked about that you do well is your penalty corner. Talk to us a little bit about that and why you think it's done so well.
The penalty corner is, it's an exciting play in field hockey where you can, put as many people around the circle as you want, and a big key to the success of the penalty corner is just having a lot of different hitters. The more hitters that you can have at the top, and the more, deceptive you can be with your play calling, and kind of keep the defending team a little bit more honest. And it's a play that requires a lot of precision from the pass to the top, to the person who stops the ball and has to make all the exchanges with the hitters, and then obviously the hitters have to be, dangerous by themselves, but also accurate with their passing.
Now, that'll be one of the things that's important as you get into conference play. Give us a lay of the land in the America East.
Well, I think our conference, is pretty open at this point. Albany's been having a really successful season and is ranked so far. All the other teams have been playing, a lot of good teams and, a lot of regional opponents. I think going into the season, into our conference play, it's really important for us to position ourselves as well as possible. Even though, the second place team ends up playing the third place team in the semifinal matchup, I still feel that, it's really important to try to be, 1 or 2 going into that conference tournament and, try to do as well as possible.
Now, that's been a goal since the start of the season. Do you feel like the team is poised to achieve that?
It's definitely a goal of ours to, try to finish in the top 2 in the conference. Albany will be a tough game on the road, but still a game that, because we've played some ranked teams at the beginning of the season, hope that we can draw from that experience going into that game, and really try to see if we can win the conference and host the tournament here.
All right, Josette, best of luck moving forward. Thank you very much for joining us here
on
the Black Bear Insider. We'll now hear from University of Maine Athletic Director Carlton Creech, who explores the school's relationship with Maine Savings Bank in this week's Carlton's Corner.
Our partnership with Maine Savings is a game changer for the University of Maine Athletic Department. The Black Bear debit card offers a great incentive for customers of Maine Savings to support our scholarship fund directly by swiping their card. Every time they swipe their card, Maine Savings is going to make a donation to the Black Bear Fund, and that's just an incredible partnership. Credit to John Reed and the staff at Maine Savings and our partners with Black Bear Sports Properties for coming up with this unique deal that's going to make all of our student athletes better.
We've really tried to look at how we can approach the communities we serve and become more than just a place to conduct financial business or conduct a transaction. If you look at this new College Avenue branch and this community room that we're standing in now, this room is designed to be open for members to come in and work. They can come here to study. There's free coffee, free Wi-Fi. They don't have to do a transaction while they're here. They can just kind of come in and hang out. And it's that sort of approach. How can we be more than just the typical financial institution?
We had a great week, all week, at Maine Savings at the new branch on the corner of College Avenue and Stillwater in Old Town. Our head coaches came by for a meet and greet. The great Jimmy Howard, former hockey player here at Maine, was there for an afternoon with a line of fans out the door to see him. Then we had a great reception a couple nights ago. So it was just a week of celebration at Maine Savings, and proud that Black Bear Nation was able to be a part of that.
The university has been a great partner with us through this whole process, and as we worked on that debit card program and completed the construction of our new branch here on College Avenue, we're looking forward to many years to come of a relationship with the university that is beneficial for us, of course, but also beneficial for the university and the athletics department, but the school as a whole.
Coming up on the Black Bear Insider, he's a former Black Bear, a former Olympian, and currently the netminder for the Detroit Red Wings. Jimmy Howard stops by. You don't want to miss it.
You support your Black Bears at the game. Now, you can support them everywhere you go. Introducing the exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings. The Black Bear debit card is free to you and supports the Black Bear Fund each time you use your card for a purchase. Just open a Red Wallet account at Maine Savings. Stop into our new College Avenue branch or any of our other convenient branches. Show your pride. Make a difference. The exclusive Black Bear debit card, only at Maine Savings.
EBS Building Supplies knows time is the most valuable resource you have. That's why they offer free delivery anywhere in their service area. Fast, convenient, and free. That's the EBS way. So whether you're a professional contractor or a do-it-yourself homeowner, no delivery is too small or too big, and custom ordering is always available. Use EBS free delivery to make your life easier and your home improvement project complete faster. EBS Building Supplies. Can do. Just ask.
Hey, man, I'm stranded. You think you can come pick me up?
Where you at?
Route 13, 50 miles out.
I'm kind of busy right now. It's gonna be a little bit.
Awesome.
Why was US Cellular built to work way out here? Because being stuck in the middle of nowhere should be up to your buddy, not your spotty wireless provider. With 4G LTE coverage for nearly 90% of our customers, you get national coverage that works harder locally. US Cellular. Hello, better.
Welcome back to the Black Bear Insider, now joined by Maine soccer superstar Charlene Achille. Charlene, thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
Now, talk to me a little bit about the way things have gone for you and your teammates so far this year.
Well, we have a rough start from start of season. We kind of lost a lot of games in a row, but I think we all kept our focus, like we want to win American East, and the conference games are the most important. We started last Sunday, and I think we did a good job. We tied, but we just have to keep working out hard in practices and like keep focusing. Like we believe that we can win, and that's what our main focus is.
Talk to me a little bit about the out-of-conference schedule that you played to prepare you for the America East.
Yeah, so it's like exhibition games. We played a bunch of different teams. We didn't expect to be like 2-6 after our exhibition games, but you know, things happen. We can't control everything. We got a lot of injuries. We almost had no keeper at one point, so we dealt with it, and I mean, we did the best we could.
Now, talk to me a little about your game specifically, leading the Black Bears and scoring 4 goals so far this year. The offensive side of the ball, something you've always excelled at?
Yeah, I don't really like defending, but I love offense. And yeah, we struggle like scoring goals. That's why we kind of lost games. But we kept working in practice, like offensive side of the game, and I think that's why we were able to score like 4 or 6 goals, I think now. And if we keep working on like our drills and like how to attack, it's just gonna come in the game.
The landscape of the America East Conference, as you get into conference play, what's it like? Goals for you and your team to perhaps make the playoffs once again and go even farther?
Yeah, I mean, we lost twice in a row against Stony Brook in semifinal. I think that's one of our main goals, like beating Stony Brook. And obviously win American East, that's our main goal too. And I think if we keep working the way we did, it's gonna happen. If we keep believing to that, it will.
No, real quick, talk a little bit about the on-the-field stuff. The off-the-field, you excel as a student here at UMaine. Talk to me a little bit about your major and what you do to balance the academics with the athletics.
I'm in nutrition. It's hard. We don't have a lot of free time. We travel a lot. You gotta stay focused, organized. And I think if you have like your planned schedule, it works. That's what helps, like knowing what you have to do. We don't even have time a lot for a social life, but it's fine. We chose to be a student athlete, and it's only 3 months season, and then it's over. So it's a lot of sacrifices, but at the same time, that's what we chose to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Thank you very much for joining us here. One of the student athletes who does it best. I've asked Charlene a couple of difficult questions here, and now we're going to ask a few more questions of the Black Bears in our latest Ask a Black Bear segment.
I would say Gronkowski, just because he's so interesting and he's tough.
I'm gonna go old school and say Mia Hamm for sure.
I'm gonna say Mia Hamm. I kind of grew up with her like as a role model in soccer.
I'd have to say Ian Crocker. I would say Kobe Bryant.
Zinedine Zidane. He's a player with France.
Missy Franklin's been influenced.
I'll have to say Kemba Walker, just because his story, his background.
Hey Black Bear fans, if you would like to have your questions answered by a Black Bear athlete, simply post or tweet using the hashtag #AskABlackBear for a chance to have your questions answered on the show.
UMaine's Fieldhouse and Gym have been home to the Black Bears for close to a century, but the recent renovations have turned what was an antiquated building into a modern facility that meets the needs of a Division I athletics program here in the 21st century. For anyone who's run on the track or been in the building over the years, the transformation has been quite dramatic. One of the biggest changes has put the emphasis on the student side of the student-athlete equation.
The New Balance Fieldhouse and Memorial Gym renovation has been great, a transformative project for Maine athletics. The key features are the brand new Fieldhouse indoor track facility, which is really one of the best in New England. It's a great facility, multi-use. It's certainly a great indoor track surface, but we can use it for practice for multiple sports during the winter months and great special events. Also, renovations to the men's and women's basketball locker rooms, which was greatly needed, which allows us to also renovate some of our other locker room spaces for women's soccer, women's softball, and women's track and field. We've also got a great new west entry that you see behind us here, which will include a timeline of the history of Maine athletics to tell the story of all the great things that have happened over the years here at the University of Maine. Also, we've added the key feature of the new renovation is a core of the building, and that's the academic center for our student athletes. It's a great facility. It's going to be a key to the academic success of our student athletes, which is why they're here. We're investing in their academic success so that they can learn and graduate from the University of Maine with a valuable degree.
So this is a video you have to watch for your...
Yeah, for my CHF.
Okay.
And I've got a very discussion about it.
To have a place dedicated for these students, it says a lot, especially with the new athletic director coming in. And he's placed a priority on that and their experience.
It puts it at the top of the priorities, you know. Academics is why we're here, you know. Let's be honest, first things first, we're here to get a degree. And I think when you create something like this, you create an environment where you can excel like this, you know, it sends a message that that's what we want here first. And I think we're responding well to that. It gives more of a vibe that we want to be dominant in this area as well as athletics.
There's also tutors for us to have scheduled for each individual class and academic advisors that help us organize classes and stay on top of our assignments and make sure that all the grades are in check and stuff.
We've had improvements every year. Our graduation rates are high, along with the best in the country. Our students are successful. 60% of our students have over a 3-point GPA.
It was definitely a big improvement to be able to get in the Fieldhouse, get on that track and get working, and it's far, far better of a facility in there than what we had previously. So they did a great job with that, and it was definitely worth the wait.
The vision to build this facility in the 1920s, I can't imagine how forward-thinking that group of administrators at the University of Maine must have been. And for it to still be here with us and for us to have the opportunity to preserve it, but not only preserve it, to make it a functional and elite facility in 2014 is quite special, and we're really proud of that. And able to preserve the M that you see behind us here today and that campus feel, it's just a tremendous facility.
Coming up on the Black Bear Insider, recruited in the 1970s as a football player, he became an all-star in the finance world. We'll hear from Gerard Cassidy. That's coming up.
Hey Black Bear fans, my name is Steve Blackwell with Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, and this is Compliance Corner, where we help you understand some of the most commonly misunderstood NCAA rules and regulations that affect our Black Bear athletes and program. Today, I'd like to talk to you about NCAA amateurism guidelines. An individual loses amateur status when they use his or her athletic skill directly or indirectly for pay in any form in that sport, accepts a promise to pay even if it is received after completion on intercollegiate athletics participation, signs a contract or commitment of any kind to play professional athletics, receives a salary, reimbursement of expenses, or other financial assistance from a professional sports organization based upon athletic skills or participation, competes on any professional athletics team, even if no compensation for expenses was received, enters a professional draft prior to initial full-time collegiate enrollment, or enters into an agreement with an agent. Student athletes have very specific conditions placed on maintaining their amateur status. So if you ever have any questions about this or any other compliance questions, feel free to contact the Black Bear Compliance Office at 207-581-1537 or visit goblackbears.com/information/compliance. This has been Compliance Corner, brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell, and Baber.
Gerard Cassidy grew up on Long Island, New York, and was recruited to play football for the Black Bears by Jack Bicknell in the 1970s. He may not have been an All-American player, but in the finance world, he has become an all-star as an investment banker. As a former business major at UMaine, he decided recently to give something back to the school. His donation has led to the creation of the Capital Markets Training Lab, which simulates what it's like to be working on Wall Street. He was back in Orono recently for the dedication, where he talked about his gift and his days with the Black Bears.
This facility is the new Gerard Cassidy Class of 80 Capital Markets Training Laboratory. This is a wonderful, very exciting development made possible by the generosity of Mr. Cassidy and a number of other donors. What it's going to allow us to do is bring up-to-date financial information, simulate an environment of a Wall Street firm, and bring it to our students in Orono.
I decided that it was a great opportunity to give back to not only to this university but also to the kids in the state of Maine. Many kids, having grown up in New York, this was a part of my life growing up, because my father worked in the industry, but that's not necessarily the case here in the state of Maine. So by bringing this to the University of Maine, it will expose kids to a part of the world that they may not have other opportunities to explore.
I would say it brings a Wall Street kind of feel to the business school, which is good. Come in as a college student, sophomore year, second year of college, and I'm going to be doing things that professionals do on a daily basis. So that's going to be a real good opportunity for myself and other people in the Maine Business School.
The importance of being a part of a team and working together and having to work together to be successful, those skills you use in the real world as you do on the ball field. Also the discipline and the hard work that you got to put in to be successful, those skills were also used in the real world. So the combination of those two things is what I took off from my experience.
That makes this whole lab that's being dedicated to the Maine Business School more kind of personal, because I know that he went through the same stuff that I'm going through as a student athlete.
It gives us a cutting edge. It gives us up-to-date financial information. We have Bloomberg feeds, which are exactly the same kind of feeds that Wall Street firms have.
The basic formulas or the basic facts about investing haven't changed for years. However, having this technology and this access to information is invaluable, and that really puts you in on a level playing field with people from around the world.
The stuff that's available here is just mind-boggling. Everything from transportation schedules, where the oil tankers are, economic damages from earthquakes. The type of data you can get here is just fundamentally different than what you can get sitting in front of a Google screen.
This is an indication of how successful our alumni are. And a lot of our alumni are now leaders in corporations, in the nonprofit world, in government.
I never would have dreamed that this would have happened. I'm very blessed and overwhelmed by the whole thing, actually.
Change is in the air here in Orono. Summer is over and fall has officially begun, and there are some big games that lie ahead for the Black Bears. Let's now take a look at the U.S. Cellular upcoming schedule. Through the years, UMaine Hockey has put more than 50 players in the NHL. Many, like Jimmy Howard, have stayed connected to the program. Howard and Gustav Nyquist experienced one of the best college hockey atmospheres in the country while in Orono. Now they are getting that same feeling while they're playing in Hockeytown for the Detroit Red Wings. Jimmy was recently back in Maine for a visit before the grind of the NHL season began. He spent a little time with us reflecting back on his days as a Black Bear and talking about his career in net for the Red Wings.
When I got here, I figured, the NHL is a possibility playing, getting that great chance of going out to Ann Arbor playing in the U.S. program, opened up a lot of doors and a lot of exposure. So, coming here, it was an easy pick for me. The school was an easy sell just because I knew about the tradition. Growing up not too far from St. Lawrence and Clarkson, I really enjoyed college hockey as a kid. So, when I got here, I just fell in love with the campus. It felt like home, and it was a great spot for me.
We've had over 60 players play in the NHL, and it's certainly something that we're very proud of. Starting with players from Sean's early years in the 80s, and right up until the current crop. People like Ben Bishop, Jimmy Howard, in net, Gus Nyquist, Flinney, Teddy Purcell. It's great. It's great stuff. Dustin Penner's another one. So we've had a lot of good players come through here and who've gone on to good careers in the National Hockey League.
Life can't get much better for me. Living a childhood dream of being on an original 16. It's such a tremendous honor being able to put on that Red Wing uniform and going out there, even in practice, looking up into the rafters and seeing, all the banners that they have, all the Stanley Cups, and it's also good because the bar's been set high there. So there's always something to strive for in Detroit. It's always Stanley Cup, making a run for the Cup.
And if you watch Jimmy Howard work out here in the summer, see how hard he works, the amount of time he spends on his fitness so he can be prepared for an 82 game season in the NHL plus playoffs and everything else, you realize that's not the case. And Jimmy's also the kind of guy who has given back to the program ever since he left. That's a huge piece. And obviously what he did here, he still holds 2 NCAA records, single season records for goals against average and save percentage, which is really rather remarkable.
I've talked to Red several times. He seems like he's got a great plan, where this program's heading and the direction it's moving in. And some of the guys just from being around here, met them and talked to them, and they seem like great kids. So, hopefully they got the right recipe for success here.
Well, that wraps it up for this week's episode of the Black Bear Insider. Thank you very much for watching. If you want more information or stats or highlights on your favorite Black Bear teams, go to GoBlackBears.com. They've got everything you could possibly need. Until next time, we will say, Go Black Bears.